Welcome back. Spring officially arrived 3 weeks ago, but we're still waiting for some signs of the season. Many gardeners might be wondering when those signs of life will start to leaf and bloom. Kevin Sproule from the Davey Tree Expert Company joins us now to take us through a spring tree checkup. Thanks so much for coming in, Kevin.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, we appreciate it. Okay, so how would you say this spring is looking compared to previous growing seasons?
Well, just from personal experience and being out there and looking at the trees and shrubs, I would say this spring is looking like it's a little milder than last spring.
Yep.
We had quite a cold and wet and slow start to last spring, and so that kind of pushed the breakout of the buds and the trees kind of starting their growing season a little bit later. So this year it's looking a little bit more normal. I know that I looked at my apple tree yesterday and I noticed that the buds are just starting to break open.
Okay.
And some of the leaves are just kind of starting to grow. So that's a good thing.
Well, I was going to ask, so should we be seeing little buds or signs of life on our trees yet?
Yes, I would say just starting now, but probably, you know, within the next couple of weeks, you should start to see some of those buds swelling and starting to open. Okay,
so if we are worried about their tree, like our trees, we're not seeing those signs of life, you know, what kinds of things should we be doing now to make sure they're okay?
One of the things you can do now to help the overall health and vigor of your trees is to provide mulch. That's one simple thing you can do is putting mulch under the tree. That helps retain moisture as we get into some warmer weather into the summer. One thing you have to remember is don't put the mulch right next to the trunk. Keep it away a little bit, just to help prevent any fungus from starting at the trunk. Another thing you can do is have a look at your trees and try and identify any dead branches, any broken hanging branches that may have happened throughout the winter. So those are good to make sure to get out of your tree, especially the hanging branches. They can pose a risk as they're not really attached to the tree anymore. They're just hanging in the branches.
Right. So you mentioned mulch. What kind of mulch? Because there's a million kinds of mulch.
I recommend an organic mulch, something that is from actual wood chips. That does, I find, prove to work better for trees.
Okay, good to know. And I understand that you have a spring tree checklist?
I do, yes. So I recommend calling your local arborist. I, of course, would recommend Davey Tree.
Yes, of course.
To give us a call and to come out and have a look at your trees. Like I said, trying to identify any broken hanging branches. Those are good to get out of your tree. Also, as your trees start to leaf out, we can look and see if we notice any kind of irregular shape or irregular leafing out in the tree. This can indicate issues with the roots. Sometimes it means a lack of moisture, so it's good to identify that now so that you can make sure that the tree is getting the appropriate moisture. One last thing as well is to fertilize. So, you know, give Davey a call. We can come out and have a look and give it some fertilizer just so that the tree has those nutrients going forward into the growing season. Okay.
Is fertilizing something that we could do ourselves as well? Like,
you could do it.
Throw some fertilizer on there? You can tell how much I know about trees.
You could do it yourself. I would recommend calling Davey Tree. We have a patent on our own fertilizer that we've created, and it's a slow release fertilizer that doesn't leach through the ground. It stays suspended in the ground for up to about a year, so the tree basically slowly sips away on the fertilizer in the ground.
Okay, perfect. Good to know. Anything else that we should be looking out for right now?
Other than that, I would say just basic cleanup. You don't want to, get any dead leaves or stuff like that away from the trees. Pruning techniques as well too, taking out the dead wood, thinning it out as well to increase some of the airflow that's flowing through the tree. Just a good idea to give your local arborist a call just to have a look as we go into the growing season.
Yeah, because you're getting busy now too, aren't you?
We're getting busy, yes. It's amazing. Once the warm weather hits, the phone goes crazy off the hook.
I'm sure it does, yeah. Kevin, thanks so much for coming in.
Thank you so much for having me.
Good luck this season.